Barry Smith, the Carolina Journal, was at the McCrory. Let's not call it State of the State, but what do you make of his agenda?
Well, I do think it is interesting that you mentioned it's not State of the State. No, it's not. The governor traditionally only gives that every couple of years. It's kind of almost like his in-between State of the State. And I actually thought he did a better job today addressing the press than he did at the State of the State. One thing, he did it on time. Last year he was early before the TV cameras came on. He was just addressing the press. There wasn't a lot of applause and that sort of stuff. Wasn't a lot of off the cuff. It was prepared remarks. I thought it gave a fairly upbeat tone, and which is interesting because he had a really rough first year as governor. I don't know of a governor in recent history that's had as rough of a first year as he's had.
To lay out that agenda, how much credence does it appear he's given to the legislative leaders who say they want to come in May and they want to be gone, if I hear correctly, by mid-June?
Well, I think they do want to be gone early, and I think the key to that is going to be having the legislation ready. Some of the legislation is already in the works. You know, he talked about, for example, his commerce program where, you know, he wants to address people, and that bill has already passed the House, so he's just got to work his way through the Senate. You know, he talked about, something that his wife wants to do, and that's get the puppy mill bill passed. That bill has already passed the House. Governor said he's going to be taking some senators to lunch to try to, get that through. So some of it, half of the legislative work has already been done, so he can get that done. It doesn't necessarily take a lot of time to get legislation through, particularly if some of the work's already been done on it.
The big topics. Puppy mill bill's nice, and reporters clued in
Right.
on that, but teacher pay was thrown
Sure.
out there. Beginning teacher pay
Right.
and hard to fill job teacher salary increases.
He wants to boost teacher pay. He did stop short of saying he wanted to raise it to the national average. That's been a big push since I think former Governor Jim Hunt has come out with op-eds in a lot of newspapers promoting that, and I don't know that necessarily it's something that the state of North Carolina is going to go to.
I'm glad you brought that up. I read that op-ed, and I've heard what Governor McCrory said, Democrat and Republican. It was, let's raise teacher pay, and the answer was, let's just do it. I didn't hear any policy details. Do you pay beginning teachers more? Do you leave some teachers out of a pay raise? How does it unfold? Will teachers get left behind even if they raise some teacher salaries?
Well, I think I would expect to see all teachers get a pay raise. I think what Governor McCrory is wanting to do, he says he doesn't want just a one-time fix. Just let's raise it 3 to 5% and that's it. And teachers have really not, or state employees have not gotten very much of a raise. I think a 1.2% maybe a couple of years ago since the Great Recession started. So when you talk about teachers getting a pay raise, you also need to bring in state employees getting a pay raise.
Do you need to politically, however? Now, and in full disclosure, I'm a state employee.
And my sister's a state employee.
So, can state employees not have the political clout this go around? The teachers get the pay raise and the others don't. I
would expect that teachers and state employees will get a pay raise. I don't know that it will necessarily be the same, but I think they would be hard pressed to do one and not the other.
What about teasing the breakup of DHHS? Too big to succeed?
He said it might be. The question is it too big to succeed? And then he detailed a number of different fires, so to speak, that the Department of Health and Human Services and Aldona Voss has had to put out. Some of them maybe literally, but maybe there are some things that need to be broken up. Maybe that needs to be some things moved to other departments, or that's something they'll look at.
And oil drilling and fracking out there for the natural gas. He wants even faster action on it. Do you see that? Do you see that usurping some of the recent legislative work that set those timetables?
I think the legislature wants to do a lot of that too. He wants to have, I think he said he wants to have permits going by about a year, by the spring of 2015.
That's what the law outlined. And Dean, are the state environmental officials, are they there now to represent the people of North Carolina, or are they there to facilitate business and economic growth in North Carolina, or are they the same thing?
I think what the governor is trying to say is you don't have to choose. What I hear Secretary Scavarla saying is, we want to be customer friendly. We want again, we'll have to see how it plays out, but we just don't want to delay people getting things done. Sometimes a lot of the problems are in the delays.
Barry Smith, Carolina Journal, thanks as always for sharing your insight.
Thanks.